Someone very special in your life has already noticed that you don't scroll. Listen to this, because the moment your eyes landed here, something subtle shifted, and your heart needs this right now. This message is for you, not by chance, not by accident, but by alignment. So take a breath and stay with me. Listen to this. There is someone very special in your life who has already noticed that you're not the same person you used to be, and they noticed it before you said a word, before you announced anything, before you even realized how far you've come. Don't scroll, because this matters. Your heart needs this right now. They noticed the way your energy softened but strengthened at the same time, how you stopped explaining yourself to people who weren't listening, how you stopped chasing closure and started choosing peace. Listen to this. This message is for you because your growth didn't make noise, it made resonance, and resonance travels. They noticed the way you walk into rooms differently now, not asking permission with your eyes, not shrinking your voice, not apologizing for existing. Don't scroll. Listen to this. Your heart needs this right now. Because the change they noticed wasn't cosmetic, it was spiritual. It was the kind of shift that only happens after heartbreak teaches you boundaries, after silence teaches you discernment, after patience teaches you faith. And listen to this. This person felt it the moment you stopped tolerating confusion, the moment you stopped responding to mixed signals, the moment you chose yourself without bitterness. Don't scroll. Because your heart needs this right now. They noticed you stopped reacting and started responding, stopped chasing validation and started trusting your intuition, stopped pouring into empty cups and started protecting your own energy. Listen to this. This message is for you because your soul has been awakening quietly, and when a soul awakens, it sends out a signal, and someone very special has been receiving it. Don't scroll. Listen to this. Your heart needs this right now, because they've been seeing signs ever since you stepped into alignment. Angel numbers appearing when your name crosses their mind. 11. 11 flashing when they think about beginnings and recognition. 222 appearing when they consider balance and union. 444 showing up when they question whether they're strong enough to meet you where you are now. And listen to this. These signs aren't coincidences, they're confirmations, and your heart needs this right now, because the universe doesn't highlight someone unless they matter. Don't scroll. Listen to this. This person noticed how you no longer cling to outcomes, how you trust timing instead of forcing it, how you've learned the difference between chemistry and compatibility, between longing and alignment. Listen to this. This message is for you because your growth has made them reflect, deeply, quietly, honestly, and don't scroll, because reflection is where truth begins. They noticed that you stopped overgiving, stopped rescuing, stopped trying to be everything for everyone, and instead became grounded, present, and whole. Listen to this. Your heart needs this right now, because your wholeness didn't scare them. It awakened them, it stirred something they had been avoiding, something they had been postponing, something they couldn't ignore. Once your energy changed. Don't scroll. Listen to this. This person noticed the way you hold silence now, not as punishment, not as withdrawal, but as peace, and that silence spoke louder than any explanation ever could. Listen to this. This message is for you because you didn't grow colder. You grew clearer, and clarity is magnetic. Don't scroll, because your heart needs this right now. They've been replaying moments with you, conversations that seemed casual at the time but now feel significant, pauses that felt awkward then but now feel sacred, glances that lingered just long enough to mean something. Listen to this. Your heart needs this right now, because they realized you didn't change to be noticed, but you were noticed because you changed. Don't scroll. Listen to this. This person has been asking the universe questions they never asked before. about timing, about readiness, about whether they missed something real, and every time they ask, something answers, a song at the right moment, a number repeating on a clock, a memory resurfacing when they least expect it. Listen to this. This message is for you because the universe responds to sincerity, and what's happening here is sincere. Don't scroll. Listen to this. Your heart needs this right now, because they noticed you stopped waiting, stopped hovering in uncertainty, stopped living your life on pause, and that realization shook them, not because they want to control you, but because they finally understand that whatever comes next must be chosen, not assumed. Listen to this. This message is for you because your energy now says, I am open, but I am not available for confusion, and that frequency doesn't go unnoticed. Don't scroll. Listen to this. Your heart needs this right now, because this person isn't watching you from a place of ego, they're watching from a place of recognition, and recognition feels like familiarity without explanation, like knowing without proof. Listen to this. This message is for you because soul connections don't require constant contact to remain active, they respond to growth, alignment, and truth. Don't scroll. Listen to this. Your heart needs this right now, because you may have felt a shift recently too, a calm where anxiety used to live, a sense of readiness without urgency, a quiet confidence that whatever unfolds will not undo you. And listen to this. That's because your energy has stabilized, and when your energy stabilizes, it invites honesty from others. Don't scroll. Listen to this. This person has noticed that you no longer chase love, you allow it, you don't beg for clarity, you embody it, and that embodiment has changed the dynamic entirely. Listen to this. This message is for you because they're realizing that approaching you now requires integrity, not charm, presence, not performance, courage, not excuses. Don't scroll. Listen to this. Your heart needs this right now, because whatever is unfolding isn't about proving worth or securing outcomes, it's about alignment meeting alignment, truth meeting truth, and readiness meeting readiness. Listen to this. This message is for you because the universe is positioning things carefully, gently, precisely, ensuring that when the next step happens, it happens from stability, not chaos. Don't scroll. Listen to this. Your heart needs this right now, because someone very special has already noticed who you've become, and that recognition is not the ending, it's the beginning, a quiet one, a sacred one, a destiny-shaped one. And listen to this. What comes next will unfold naturally, without force, without games, without confusion, because when souls recognize growth, the universe makes space for truth. So stay right here. Don't scroll. Listen to this. Your heart needs this right now, because this message didn't find you, you aligned with it, and that alignment is already changing what's possible. Don't scroll. Listen to this, because this is the part where what was noticed quietly begins to mean something, and this message is for you in a way that feels gentle but undeniable. So stay with me, take a breath, listen to this. Your heart needs this right now, because after that very special person noticed the shift in you, after they felt the change in your energy without you ever having to explain it, something inside them began to wake up. And listen to this, because this message is for you. It wasn't loud, it wasn't dramatic, it didn't come with instant action, it came with reflection, the kind that settles in late at night when distractions fade and truth speaks clearly. Don't scroll, because this is where the story deepens. Listen to this. Your heart needs this right now, because they started replaying moments with you not from nostalgia, but from understanding, realizing that even back then, even in the small interactions, there was something steady about you, something grounding, something that didn't demand but invited. And listen to this. This realization didn't make them restless, it made them still, and stillness is where awareness grows. Don't scroll. Because awareness changes perception, listen to this. They began noticing how your presence lingers even when you're not around, how thinking of you brings calm instead of confusion, how your energy feels like clarity instead of chaos, and this message is for you because your heart needs this right now. That's not coincidence, that's resonance. Don't scroll, because resonance is how souls recognize alignment. Listen to this. Your soulmate has been experiencing subtle confirmations everywhere, not fireworks, but precision, angel numbers appearing at moments of contemplation, 1111 when they think about recognition and mirrored paths, 222 when they reflect on balance and partnership, 333 when they consider communication and expression. And listen to this, each number feels like a quiet nudge. Not saying, act now, but saying, pay attention, don't scroll, because attention is sacred. Listen to this. Your heart needs this right now, because the universe doesn't send signs to confuse, it sends them to confirm, and what's being confirmed here is that your growth didn't go unnoticed, it created a ripple. Don't scroll, because ripples always return to their source. Listen to this. They've started asking themselves deeper questions, not, do I want this, but, am I ready to meet this honestly? And that shift matters, because it shows growth on their side too, and this message is for you because your heart needs this right now. Growth recognizes growth. Don't scroll, because stagnation avoids it. Listen to this. They've noticed how different you feel now, not distant, but centered, not guarded, but grounded, not unavailable, but selective, and that selectiveness has made them realize that approaching you now requires integrity, not excuses, presence, not performance. And listen to this. This realization didn't scare them, it steadied them. Don't scroll, because steadiness is readiness. Listen to this. Your heart needs this right now, because you may have felt a shift too, a subtle calm replacing overthinking, a sense that you don't need to chase clarity anymore, that whatever is meant to speak will speak when it's aligned. And listen to this, that calm is not detachment, it's trust. Don't scroll, because trust is the foundation of real connection. Listen to this. Your soulmate has been noticing how their usual distractions don't work the same way anymore, how surface-level interactions feel hollow, how their emotional awareness has sharpened, and this message is for you because your heart needs this right now. Your growth invited theirs. Don't scroll, because growth is contagious. Listen to this. They've been reflecting on timing differently now, understanding that timing isn't about waiting endlessly, it's about meeting moments with the right energy, and right now, the energy feels cleaner, clearer, more grounded, and this message is for you because your heart needs this right now. Clean energy supports honest movement. Don't scroll, because rushed energy distorts it. Listen to this. They're no longer fantasizing about what could be, they're considering what could be real, sustainable, respectful, mutual, and that distinction has changed everything internally, and this message is for you because your heart needs this right now. Reality rooted in respect lasts longer than fantasy fueled by longing. Don't scroll, because longing fades. Listen to this. Your soulmate has become aware that silence between you feels different now, not awkward, not heavy, but spacious, like a pause that's doing important work behind the scenes. And listen to this, that space is intentional. Don't scroll, because space allows truth to breathe. Listen to this. They've also recognized that you're living your life fully, not waiting, not hovering in uncertainty, and that awareness has made them want to approach you as an equal rather than from a place of need. And this message is for you because your heart needs this right now. Equality creates balance. don't scroll, because imbalance creates fear. Listen to this. Your soulmate has been practicing honesty in their own life, noticing how truth feels lighter than avoidance, how clarity feels safer than pretending, and this practice has built a quiet confidence that doesn't need validation, and this message is for you because your heart needs this right now. Confidence like that doesn't shout, it shows up. Don't scroll, because showing up matters. Listen to this. They're beginning to understand that whatever unfolds next shouldn't disrupt either of your lives, but integrate naturally, adding depth without chaos, support without dependency, and that understanding has reshaped their intentions entirely, and this message is for you because your heart needs this right now. Integration is maturity. Don't scroll, because maturity sustains connection. Listen to this. The universe has been clearing emotional clutter around both of you, simplifying circumstances, creating stillness, making space for honesty to land gently rather than explosively, and listen to this, that's not delay, that's preparation. Don't scroll, because preparation protects what's real. Listen to this. Your soulmate feels a growing sense of gratitude when they think of you now, gratitude for who you are, for how you've grown, for how you've held your boundaries without bitterness, and this message is for you because your heart needs this right now. Gratitude softens fear. Don't scroll, because softened fear allows courage. Listen to this. They're aware that when truth is finally spoken, it must be met with respect, patience, and openness, not urgency or expectation, and that awareness has guided every internal step they've taken, and this message is for you because your heart needs this right now. This isn't about rushing toward an outcome, it's about honoring alignment. Don't scroll, because alignment doesn't need force. Listen to this. Part 2 is about recognition turning into reflection, reflection turning into readiness, and readiness quietly preparing the ground for honest expression, and your heart needs this right now because what's forming here is steady, intentional, and real, so stay with this feeling. Don't scroll. Listen to this, because the universe is still guiding the timing, and the next shift will feel natural, grounded, and unmistakably aligned. Don't scroll. Listen to this, because this is the part where awareness begins turning into intention, and this message is for you in a way that feels quiet but powerful, like the universe gently placing its hand on your shoulder and saying, "Pay attention, so stay right here with me." Take a breath. Don't scroll. Listen to this. Your heart needs this right now, because after that very special person noticed your transformation and sat with the meaning of it, something deeper began to unfold inside them, something they couldn't unsee or undo, and listen to this because this message is for you. It wasn't panic, it wasn't urgency, it wasn't emotional chaos, it was a steady realization that what they felt wasn't curiosity anymore, it was recognition, and recognition changes how a person moves through the world. Don't scroll, because this is where the shift becomes real. Listen to this. Your heart needs this right now, because they began noticing how often your energy appeared in their quiet moments, not as distraction, but as grounding, as clarity, as a reminder of what feels honest. And listen to this, that's not imagination, that's alignment. Don't scroll, because alignment pulls without force. Listen to this. They started paying attention to their own emotional patterns, realizing how different this feels from past connections, how this doesn't spike anxiety or create confusion, but instead invites presence and responsibility, and this message is for you because your heart needs this right now. Real connection doesn't create chaos, it creates awareness. Don't scroll, because awareness leads to intention. Listen to this. Your soulmate has been experiencing subtle but consistent signs from the universe during this phase, not dramatic messages, but precise confirmations, angel numbers appearing when they're reflecting on you, 1111 when they think about soul recognition, 222 when they consider balance and mutual effort, 333 when they wonder if it's time to speak honestly. And listen to this. These numbers don't push, they reassure. Don't scroll, because reassurance stabilizes the heart. Listen to this. Your heart needs this right now, because the universe doesn't speak in numbers unless something is already aligned energetically, and what's aligned here is growth meeting growth. Don't scroll, because growth recognizes itself. Listen to this. They've begun to imagine what honesty would feel like, not the moment itself, but the aftermath, the relief of no longer carrying unspoken truth, and that imagined relief has become more compelling than fear. And this message is for you because your heart needs this right now. Relief is often the soul's way of signaling readiness. Don't scroll, because readiness feels calm. Listen to this. They've also realized that silence has served its purpose, that reflection has done its work, and that continuing to stay quiet would feel less respectful than speaking with care. And this message is for you because your heart needs this right now. Respect is the foundation of everything lasting. Don't scroll, because without it, nothing holds. Listen to this. Your soulmate has noticed how your growth has changed the emotional tone of the connection, how it feels less volatile, less uncertain, more steady, and this steadiness has allowed them to consider next steps without fear of destabilizing either of you. And your heart needs this right now because steadiness creates safety. Don't scroll, because safety allows truth to surface. Listen to this. They're no longer trying to predict outcomes or control timing. Instead, they're focusing on how to show up with integrity, honesty, and openness. And this shift has simplified everything internally. And your heart needs this right now because simplicity brings peace. Don't scroll, because peace attracts alignment. Listen to this. They've become more intentional in other areas of life too, choosing depth over distraction, honesty over comfort, presence over avoidance. And this message is for you because your heart needs this right now. This connection didn't distract them from growth, it catalyzed it. Don't scroll, because catalysts leave permanent change. Listen to this. Your soulmate understands now that whatever unfolds next should not feel rushed or forced, but natural and mutual. And that understanding has replaced impatience with trust, and your heart needs this right now because trust changes how love moves. Don't scroll, because love guided by trust doesn't panic. Listen to this. They've also recognized that you are not waiting in uncertainty, that you're living your life grounded in your own rhythm, and that awareness has made them want to approach you as an equal rather than from a place of need. And this message is for you because your heart needs this right now. Equality creates balance. Don't scroll, because imbalance creates pressure. Listen to this. Your soulmate has felt moments of vulnerability arise unexpectedly, imagining seeing you again, hearing your voice, sharing space without pretending everything is casual. And listen to this. Those moments didn't overwhelm them, they grounded them. Don't scroll, because grounded emotion is maturity. Listen to this. They're also aware that past fears were shaped by old experiences, not by you, and that realization has allowed them to separate history from possibility. And your heart needs this right now because healing happens when the past loosens its grip. Don't scroll, because the present deserves clarity. Listen to this. The universe has been supporting this process quietly, creating moments of stillness, removing distractions, encouraging introspection rather than escape. And this message is for you because your heart needs this right now. Stillness prepares truth. Don't scroll, because truth doesn't like noise. Listen to this. Your soulmate is no longer asking whether the connection matters. They know it does. They're asking how to honor it responsibly, and that question marks a turning point, and your heart needs this right now because responsibility is love with maturity. Don't scroll, because maturity sustains connection. Listen to this. They're becoming comfortable with uncertainty, not because they don't care, but because they trust themselves to respond with integrity when the moment comes, and this message is for you because your heart needs this right now. Self-trust steadies vulnerability. Don't scroll, because without it, fear takes over. Listen to this. This phase is about intention forming quietly, about readiness becoming embodied, about truth preparing to move from internal awareness into gentle expression, and your heart needs this right now because what's unfolding here isn't sudden, it's earned. Don't scroll, because earned moments last. Listen to this. Part 3 is where recognition deepens into resolve, where reflection turns into quiet courage, and where the universe begins positioning the next opening, not through urgency, but through harmony. So stay present with this energy. Don't scroll. Listen to this, because the next shift will feel subtle, steady, and unmistakably right, and your heart will know it before your mind catches up. Don't scroll. Listen to this, because this is the part where intention starts quietly turning into preparation, and this message is for you in a way that feels steady, intimate, and deeply reassuring, like the universe is speaking softly but clearly straight to your heart. So stay with me, take a breath, listen to this. Your heart needs this right now, because after awareness settled and resolve formed, your soulmate entered a phase that isn't loud or dramatic, but powerful in its stillness, a phase where they stopped thinking about what this connection means and started living as if it matters. And listen to this, because this message is for you. It didn't show up as sudden action, it showed up as alignment, the kind that rearranges priorities without asking permission. Don't scroll, because alignment always works quietly at first. Listen to this. Your soulmate began noticing how their inner world feels calmer now, less divided, less conflicted, as if the parts of them that once argued with each other have finally reached an agreement, and that agreement is simple. Whatever comes next must be honest, respectful, and real, and this message is for you because your heart needs this right now. You may have felt a similar calm, a sense that you're no longer bracing for impact, no longer waiting for the other shoe to drop, and listen to this. That calm is not indifference, it's grounding. Don't scroll, because grounding prepares you to receive truth without losing yourself. Listen to this. Your soulmate has been paying attention to how their body responds when they imagine future conversations with you, noticing there's no rush, no tightness, no panic, just a steady readiness, and this message is for you because your heart needs this right now. When the body relaxes around truth, it's because fear has loosened its grip. Don't scroll, because fear always shows up physically. Listen to this. They've started reflecting on what it really means to show up fully, not with grand gestures or dramatic confessions, but with consistency, presence, and honesty that can be sustained, and this message is for you because your heart needs this right now. Sustainable love feels different from intense longing. Don't scroll, because intensity fades but presence endures. Listen to this. The universe has been reinforcing this phase with grounding signs rather than excitement, angel numbers appearing like anchors, 44 reminding them of stability and foundation, 66 whispering emotional harmony, 77 affirming inner wisdom gained through patience. And listen to this. These signs aren't saying, go faster, they're saying, you're steady. Don't scroll, because steadiness is readiness. Listen to this. Your soulmate has also become more aware of how much they respect your boundaries, your pace, your ability to remain centered without chasing reassurance, and that respect has deepened their feelings rather than diminished them, and this message is for you because your heart needs this right now. respect-based attraction lasts. Don't scroll, because impulse-based attraction burns out. Listen to this. They're letting go of old narratives about how love is supposed to unfold, releasing pressure to meet timelines or expectations that don't align with who they are now, and this message is for you because your heart needs this right now. Authenticity thrives when expectations loosen. Don't scroll, because rigidity suffocates connection. Listen to this. Your soulmate has been practicing vulnerability in small, honest ways, noticing that opening up doesn't lead to rejection like they once feared, but to understanding, and this practice has made the idea of being fully seen feel safer, and this message is for you because your heart needs this right now. Safety invites honesty. Don't scroll, because without safety, truth hides. Listen to this. They've also reflected on how you handle silence, distance, and uncertainty with grace, not collapsing into anxiety or demanding answers, and that grace has become a mirror for the kind of emotional maturity they want to embody too, and your heart needs this right now because healthy connection inspires growth. Don't scroll, because growth recognizes growth. Listen to this. The universe has been clearing emotional clutter around both of you, simplifying situations, removing distractions, creating stillness where alignment can deepen without interference, and this message is for you because your heart needs this right now. Stillness isn't stagnation, it's preparation. Don't scroll, because preparation protects what's real. Listen to this. Your soulmate understands now that approaching you requires intention, not urgency, and that intention feels natural rather than forced, and your heart needs this right now because natural movement doesn't drain energy. Don't scroll, because forced movement does. Listen to this. They've noticed that their emotional reactions to stress or uncertainty have softened, that they're less reactive and more reflective, and that emotional regulation has made the idea of opening up feel manageable rather than overwhelming, and this message is for you because your heart needs this right now. Regulation supports honesty. Don't scroll, because chaos distorts it. Listen to this. Your soulmate is also becoming aware that whatever unfolds next should integrate into both of your lives rather than disrupt them, adding depth without chaos, support without dependency, and that awareness has reshaped their intentions entirely, and your heart needs this right now because integration is maturity. Don't scroll, because maturity sustains connection. Listen to this. They're beginning to imagine not just the moment of honesty, but the life that follows it, one where truth no longer sits unspoken between you, and that imagined ease has become more motivating than fear ever was, and this message is for you because your heart needs this right now. Ease is often the soul's signal of alignment. Don't scroll, because alignment feels lighter. Listen to this. They've accepted that no connection comes with guarantees, but that doesn't make it any less worth honoring, and that acceptance has freed them from needing certainty before acting, and your heart needs this right now because certainty is not required for sincerity. Don't scroll, because sincerity is what carries weight. Listen to this. Your soulmate is no longer trying to control the narrative or predict your response. They're focused on showing up with integrity and allowing space for whatever is true for you, and that focus has grounded their courage deeply, and your heart needs this right now because courage rooted in respect feels safe. Don't scroll, because safe courage invites trust. Listen to this. This phase is about readiness without pressure, about intention settling into something solid, about love learning how to move slowly without losing momentum, and your heart needs this right now because what's forming here is not fragile, it's being built carefully. Don't scroll, because careful doesn't mean hesitant. Listen to this. It means intentional. Listen to this. Part 4 is where the foundation becomes strong enough to support expression, where preparation finishes its quiet work, and where the universe begins opening space for truth to move outward naturally. So stay present with this energy, don't scroll, listen to this, because what comes next won't feel like a surprise, it will feel like a continuation of everything that's already been aligning. Don't scroll, listen to this, because this is the part where preparation turns into emotional weight, where readiness begins to feel undeniable, and this message is for you in a way that feels intimate, steady, and deeply intentional, like the universe is lowering its voice because what's being said now matters. So stay with me, take a breath, listen to this. Your heart needs this right now, because after all the inner alignment, after the quiet grounding, after the steady calm settled in, your soulmate reached a moment of emotional gravity, a realization that truth, once fully integrated, can no longer stay contained without creating imbalance. And listen to this because this message is for you. It wasn't panic that arrived, it wasn't urgency, it was responsibility, the kind that comes when someone understands that their feelings don't exist in isolation anymore, that what they carry affects the space between you. And don't scroll, because this is where love matures. Listen to this. Your soulmate has been sitting with the awareness that honesty changes things not because it forces outcomes, but because it removes illusion, and illusion has quietly lost its grip on them. And this message is for you because your heart needs this right now. You may feel this as a subtle emotional steadiness, a sense that you're no longer pulled back and forth by uncertainty, that you can stand in your own truth without needing answers immediately. And listen to this. That steadiness is not distance, it's strength. Don't scroll, because strength invites clarity. Listen to this. Your soulmate has been reflecting on what it truly means to care for someone without possession, without control, without expectation, and they've realized that real care asks a harder question. How do I honor this connection without disrupting their peace? And that question has reshaped everything internally, and your heart needs this right now because care rooted in respect feels different from desire rooted in fear. Don't scroll, because fear rushes and respect waits. Listen to this. They've been noticing how their emotional impulses have softened, how reactions have slowed into responses, how the need to do something has transformed into the willingness to do it right. And this message is for you because your heart needs this right now. Doing it right is a sign of emotional maturity. Don't scroll, because maturity sustains connection. Listen to this. The universe has continued supporting this phase with grounding confirmations rather than excitement, angel numbers appearing not as sparks but as anchors, 44 reminding them of stability and structure, 66 emphasizing harmony and emotional balance, 88 signaling abundance that doesn't require self-betrayal. And listen to this. These signs aren't saying, act now. They're saying, you're supported when you do. Don't scroll, because support changes how courage feels. Listen to this. Your soulmate has also become aware that silence between you now carries intention rather than avoidance, that it feels like space being held rather than distance being created. And this message is for you because your heart needs this right now. Intentional silence protects what's forming. Don't scroll, because noise can damage fragile beginnings. Listen to this. They've been imagining what honesty would change, not in dramatic terms, but in practical ones, how it would affect daily interactions, emotional tone, mutual understanding, and that grounded imagining has replaced fantasy with realism. And your heart needs this right now because realism builds something that can last. Don't scroll, because fantasy collapses under pressure. Listen to this. Your soulmate understands now that the connection doesn't need to be dramatic to be meaningful, it needs to be stable, clear, and respectful, and that understanding has reshaped how they value what exists between you. and your heart needs this right now because stability is love's quiet language. Don't scroll, because loud emotions fade. Listen to this. They've also reflected on how you've handled uncertainty with grace, how you didn't demand answers, didn't force timelines, didn't lose yourself in waiting, and that grace has deepened their respect for you in a way words can't fully capture. And your heart needs this right now because respect rooted in observation is powerful. Don't scroll, because it changes behavior. Listen to this. Your soulmate is aware now that approaching you requires emotional responsibility, not just emotional honesty, and that awareness has made them more deliberate, more thoughtful, and more patient. And your heart needs this right now because patience protects what's real. Don't scroll, because impatience fractures trust. Listen to this. They've noticed that their emotional world feels more integrated now, that thoughts, feelings, and values are aligned rather than competing, and that integration has created a sense of wholeness that supports honest expression without fear of collapse. And this message is for you because your heart needs this right now. Wholeness invites truth. Don't scroll, because fragmentation creates confusion. Listen to this. The idea of speaking honestly no longer feels like a risk to their identity, it feels like an extension of it, and that shift marks a turning point. And your heart needs this right now because when truth aligns with identity, it doesn't feel threatening. Don't scroll, because it feels necessary. Listen to this. Your soulmate has also accepted that whatever unfolds next may not fit a script or timeline, and that acceptance has freed them from the need to control outcomes, allowing them to focus instead on how they show up. And your heart needs this right now because control blocks connection. Don't scroll, because openness allows it. Listen to this. They're beginning to understand that love doesn't require certainty to move forward. It requires integrity, presence, and care, and those qualities are now firmly in place. And your heart needs this right now because integrity anchors vulnerability. Don't scroll, because without it, vulnerability collapses. Listen to this. This phase is about emotional grounding becoming lived responsibility, about recognizing that truth, once known, asks to be honored, and that honoring doesn't look like urgency, it looks like readiness. And your heart needs this right now because readiness feels calm. Don't scroll, because calm courage lasts. Listen to this. Your soulmate senses that the internal work has reached a natural pause point, not because everything is resolved, but because enough clarity exists to move forward without confusion. And your heart needs this right now because clarity doesn't require certainty. Don't scroll, because certainty is the mind's demand. Listen to this. Truth belongs to the soul. Listen to this. Part 5 is where emotional grounding deepens into commitment to integrity, where love stops circling and begins orienting itself toward expression, and where the universe continues to hold space gently, patiently, ensuring that when truth does move outward, it does so from a place of balance, maturity, and care. So stay present with this feeling. Don't scroll. Listen to this. Because what's coming next will feel steady, intentional, and unmistakably aligned, and your heart will recognize it the moment it arrives. Don't scroll. Listen to this, because this is the part where everything that has been quietly grounding inside both of you reaches a threshold that can no longer be ignored, and this message is for you in a way that feels calm but unmistakable, like the universe lowering its voice because what comes next deserves reverence. So stay with me, take a breath, listen to this. Your heart needs this right now, because after responsibility settled, after care deepened, after integrity became the compass, your soulmate arrived at a place of quiet certainty that doesn't announce itself loudly but changes everything. And listen to this because this message is for you. They're no longer circling the question of whether to speak, they're living from the truth that remaining silent would no longer align with who they have become. And don't scroll, because this is where inner alignment turns into deliberate choice. Listen to this. Your heart needs this right now, because the fear that once whispered, "Wait," has been replaced by a steadier voice that says, "Be honest when you're ready," and readiness has a very specific feeling. It feels calm, grounded, and clean, not rushed or anxious. Don't scroll, because anxiety always rushes. Listen to this. Your soulmate has been noticing how their body responds when they imagine speaking openly now, how there's no knot in the stomach, no racing thoughts, just a steady breath and a sense of relief waiting on the other side. And this message is for you because your heart needs this right now. When the body relaxes around truth, it's because the soul has already chosen it. Don't scroll, because the soul doesn't second guess. Listen to this. They've reflected on the difference between attraction that excites and connection that stabilizes, realizing that what they feel with you belongs to the second category, the kind that doesn't spike adrenaline but builds trust. And this message is for you because your heart needs this right now. Stability doesn't dull love, it deepens it. Don't scroll, because depth lasts. Listen to this. Your soulmate has also been thinking about how they want to show up not just with you, but in life overall, more present, more honest, more aligned with their values, and they recognize that this connection has quietly guided them toward that version of themselves. And this message is for you because your heart needs this right now. Some connections don't distract you from your path, they clarify it. Don't scroll, because clarity changes direction. Listen to this. They're aware now that speaking truth doesn't mean asking you to change your pace, your boundaries, or your life. It means offering clarity and allowing space for whatever response feels right for you. And that respect has become central to their courage. And your heart needs this right now because respect creates safety. Don't scroll, because safety allows honesty to land gently. Listen to this. The universe has been confirming this phase not with urgency but with reassurance, angel numbers appearing like quiet nods rather than commands, 1111 showing mirrored awareness, 22 reinforcing balance and partnership, 44 grounding everything in stability and protection. And this message is for you because your heart needs this right now. These signs aren't telling anyone to hurry, they're saying, you're ready to move without losing yourself. Don't scroll, because losing yourself is no longer an option here. Listen to this. Your soulmate has also made peace with not knowing every outcome in advance, understanding that certainty is not required for sincerity, and that acceptance has removed the last layer of resistance they were holding. And your heart needs this right now because resistance fades when trust grows. Don't scroll, because trust steadies the heart. Listen to this. They've noticed that their emotional reactions to uncertainty have softened, that they no longer feel pulled into extremes, and that balance has made the idea of opening up feel manageable rather than risky. And this message is for you because your heart needs this right now. Emotional regulation is readiness. Don't scroll, because without it, truth collapses under weight. Listen to this. Your soulmate understands now that whatever unfolds next must be guided by intention rather than impulse, by clarity rather than fantasy, and that understanding has reshaped how they imagine the future. And your heart needs this right now because intention protects what's real. Don't scroll, because impulse burns fast. Listen to this. They're also aware that you are living your life grounded in your own rhythm, not waiting anxiously, not chasing reassurance, and that awareness has made them want to meet you as an equal rather than from a place of need. And your heart needs this right now because equality creates balance. Don't scroll, because imbalance breeds confusion. Listen to this. Your soulmate has been practicing honesty in small ways daily, noticing how truth feels lighter than avoidance, how clarity feels safer than pretending, and that practice has built a confidence that doesn't rely on external validation. And this message is for you because your heart needs this right now. Confidence rooted in integrity is quiet but powerful. Don't scroll, because quiet power endures. Listen to this. They've reflected on how often fear in the past led them to delay or avoid, and how different it feels now to act from clarity rather than hesitation. And this message is for you because your heart needs this right now. Clarity dissolves fear. Don't scroll, because fear feeds on confusion. Listen to this. They're also becoming comfortable with the idea that vulnerability doesn't require emotional flooding or dramatic confession. It requires honesty paired with boundaries, and that understanding has made openness feel safe rather than threatening. And your heart needs this right now because safe vulnerability builds trust. Don't scroll, because trust sustains connection. Listen to this. Your soulmate senses that the internal chapter of preparation is nearing completion, not abruptly, but gently, like a story ready to turn the page. And this message is for you because your heart needs this right now. Pages turn when the moment is right. Don't scroll, because forcing them tears the book. Listen to this. They're aware that whatever response comes from you deserves respect and acceptance, not persuasion or pressure, and that awareness has grounded their courage even more. And your heart needs this right now because acceptance honors autonomy. Don't scroll, because autonomy is love without control. Listen to this. This phase is about commitment to truth without attachment to outcome, about confidence built on self-awareness rather than fantasy, and about the calm courage that arises when someone knows they can speak honestly and stand by their integrity no matter what follows. And your heart needs this right now because calm courage lasts. Don't scroll, because drama fades. Listen to this. Your soulmate feels that the time for internal circling has ended, that clarity has settled deeply enough to support movement without confusion. And this message is for you because your heart needs this right now. Movement guided by alignment feels natural. Don't scroll, because natural movement doesn't exhaust the soul. Listen to this. Part 6 is where readiness becomes undeniable, where preparation turns into permission, and where the universe quietly steps back because the inner work has been done, leaving space for truth to emerge naturally, steadily, and with care. So stay present with this energy. Don't scroll. Listen to this, because what comes next will not feel rushed or chaotic. It will feel like the most honest step forward you could have taken, and your heart will recognize it instantly. Don't scroll. Listen to this, because this is the moment everything you've been sensing finally reaches clarity. And this message is for you in a way that feels calm, steady, and unmistakably true, like the universe has been patient long enough and is now ready to let understanding settle into your bones. So stay with me, take a breath, listen to this. Your heart needs this right now, because after all the preparation, after the grounding, after the quiet courage formed, your soulmate reached the point where truth no longer feels like a risk but like a responsibility to their own integrity. And listen to this because this message is for you. They didn't arrive here through pressure or urgency. They arrived through growth, through reflection, through choosing honesty internally long before it ever needed to be spoken aloud. And don't scroll, because this is where alignment becomes lived experience. Listen to this. Your heart needs this right now, because the final shift isn't dramatic, it's decisive. It's the moment when someone understands that remaining silent would no longer reflect who they've become, and that understanding brings calm rather than fear. Don't scroll, because calm conviction is the strongest form of courage. Listen to this. Your soulmate now feels a deep certainty that whatever unfolds next must be guided by truth without attachment to outcome, by presence without performance, by respect without expectation, and this message is for you because your heart needs this right now. This kind of certainty doesn't rush, it steadies. Don't scroll, because steadiness lasts. Listen to this. They've reflected on everything that led here, the pauses, the distance, the inner work, the moments of doubt that slowly transformed into trust, and they see now that none of it was wasted. Every phase prepared them to show up without fear, and this message is for you because your heart needs this right now. Nothing in your journey has been wasted either. Don't scroll, because preparation often looks like waiting from the outside. Listen to this. Your soulmate understands that speaking truth isn't about asking you to decide anything immediately, it's about honoring what already exists and allowing space for mutual response, and that awareness has softened the entire energy surrounding this connection, and your heart needs this right now because softened energy allows honesty to land gently. Don't scroll, because force fractures trust. Listen to this. The universe has been affirming this final alignment quietly, angel numbers appearing not as instruction but as confirmation, 1111 showing mirrored readiness, 22 reinforcing balance and shared intention, 44 anchoring stability, 55 signaling change that no longer needs to be resisted. And listen to this, these signs aren't asking for action. They're confirming that readiness has already been achieved. Don't scroll, because readiness feels calm. Listen to this. Your soulmate is no longer imagining worst-case scenarios or rehearsing outcomes. They're focused on how they want to show up, honest, present, respectful, and grounded, and this message is for you because your heart needs this right now. How someone shows up matters more than what they say. Don't scroll, because actions rooted in integrity speak louder than promises. Listen to this. They've accepted that vulnerability doesn't guarantee outcome, but it does guarantee self-respect, and self-respect has become more important to them than certainty, and your heart needs this right now because self-respect anchors the soul. Don't scroll, because without it, truth collapses. Listen to this. Your soulmate feels ready to speak without rehearsing, to listen without defensiveness, to meet you where you are rather than where fear once placed them, and this message is for you because your heart needs this right now. Meeting someone where they are is the highest form of respect. Don't scroll, because respect is love's foundation. Listen to this. They're also prepared to accept whatever response comes, not bracing for rejection, not clinging to hope, but grounded in the understanding that honesty is an act of integrity regardless of outcome, and this message is for you because your heart needs this right now. Integrity brings peace even when outcomes are unknown. Don't scroll, because peace is alignment. Listen to this. Your soulmate recognizes that love doesn't need to announce itself loudly to be real. It needs to show up consistently, honestly, and with care, and that understanding has reshaped their expectations completely, and your heart needs this right now because real love feels steady. Don't scroll, because intensity fades but steadiness remains. Listen to this. They've noticed that their emotional world feels lighter now, not because feelings have disappeared, but because they're no longer carrying them alone. They're ready to let truth exist outside of their own thoughts, and this message is for you because your heart needs this right now. Shared truth changes the space between two people. Don't scroll, because it creates authenticity. Listen to this. They're no longer waiting for external signs to tell them what to do. They're trusting the clarity that has already settled within them, understanding that guidance doesn't always arrive as a command. Sometimes it arrives as peace that won't go away, and your heart needs this right now because peace is the clearest signal of alignment. Don't scroll, because anxiety never guides correctly. listen to this. Your soulmate understands that whatever unfolds next doesn't need to define everything immediately, it simply needs to be real, and that realization has lifted the pressure that once distorted the connection, and your heart needs this right now because real moments don't require perfection. Don't scroll, because perfection is fear in disguise. Listen to this. They feel gratitude now when they think of you, gratitude for the connection, for the growth, for the way this journey shaped them into someone capable of honesty without fear, and this message is for you because your heart needs this right now. Gratitude softens the heart and opens it gently. Don't scroll, because gentleness builds trust. Listen to this. Your soulmate senses that the internal chapter has closed naturally, not abruptly, like a book that's been read fully and understood, and now the page is ready to turn, and this message is for you because your heart needs this right now. Pages turn when the lesson is complete. Don't scroll, because forcing them rips the story. Listen to this. They're standing at the threshold of expression now, not rushing forward, not hesitating, but aware that remaining still would no longer reflect who they are, and that awareness has brought calm courage rather than anxiety, and your heart needs this right now because calm courage endures. Don't scroll, because drama fades. Listen to this. This final phase is about alignment becoming visible, about reflection transforming into presence, about the quiet certainty you've both been circling finally finding its voice, and whatever comes next will be guided not by fear or fantasy, but by clarity, respect, and readiness, and your heart needs this right now because when something is real, it doesn't need to be forced. It simply arrives when both hearts are steady enough to receive it, so stay present with this moment. Don't scroll. Listen to this, because what's about to unfold will feel familiar, grounded, and unmistakably right, and your heart will recognize it the instant it happens.